After the United States, Russia is considered to have the most powerful military in the world, although China is catching up fast. Russia certainly outguns Ukraine's military, which is ranked 22nd, just ahead of Canada. Both Russia and Ukraine spend a little more than 4% of GDP every year on their militaries. But because Russia's economy is 10 times bigger, its military spending is also 10 times bigger. $66 billion a year versus just $6 billion a year. And so Russia can afford far more personnel and weapons. Here are the key numbers recorded before the attack began nearly 2 months ago. Russia has more than 4 times the number of active personnel, 850,000 compared to 200,000. Nearly 5 times the number of combat tanks, over 12,000 compared to 2,500. About 2.5 times the number of armored vehicles, over 30,000 versus just over 12,000 in Ukraine. And nearly 7 times the number of rocket projectors, more than 3,000 compared to Ukraine's 490. In the air, the differences are even greater. Russia's Air Force has 13 times the number of military aircraft, over 4,000 compared to just over 300. For example, Russia has over 10 times the number of fighter jets, 772, compared to Ukraine with just 69, and nearly 20 times the number of attack helicopters, 649 versus 34. At sea, it's a similar story. Russia's total fleet is more than 600 strong. Ukraine has less than 40 vessels. And Russia is one of only 10 countries in the whole world to have an aircraft carrier, whereas Ukraine, like most other nations, doesn't have one. It also has no destroyers, whereas Russia has 15, and no submarines, Russia 17. At sea, in the sky, and on the ground, it's clear that on paper, Ukraine's military is no match for Russia's, and so the West has been trying to quickly close the gap. So far, more than 30 countries have sent military aid to Ukraine. The United States has sent thousands of anti-tank and anti-aircraft missiles, as well as helicopters, patrol boats, vehicles, guns, and millions of rounds of ammunition. The UK has also sent thousands of anti-tank missiles, as well as armored vehicles and an air defense system. Germany has hastily rewritten its policy that barred the export of weapons to war zones and has also sent anti-tank and anti-aircraft missiles, as well as machine guns and night vision gear. Ukraine's government is no doubt grateful for all this support, but some Ukrainian politicians argue it's the least the West can do, having persuaded Ukraine to give up its nuclear arsenal in the 1990s in exchange for promises from the West and Russia to respect its sovereignty. If they still had nuclear weapons, they say, Russia would never have dared to attack.
Well, thanks for watching our program. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and even subscribe.